Well, welcome, Costa Rica, July. Um, I am Millie Whitehead. I haven't met you all before, any of you before, but I head up the Leap with my team, Zoe, Tans, and Kerry, who you've probably all kind of been in email correspondence with at some time. Anyway, I'm in charge of delivering the program and talking to everybody overseas, and we've got everything all set up. It's gonna be good. So, the purpose of today is to get expectations aligned and to get you all organized. So, we are going to run through your itinerary, your flights, the food, activities, money, Wi-Fi, insurance, bungee jumping, and all that stuff, and finally, kit at the end. So, we're going to go through each section and ask questions as we go. So, ask away. The aim of it is that by the time you click off, you know exactly what's going on. Okay, dokes. So let me just get up your database. Okay, so we have a full house on the 9th of July. We've got 22 of you booked on, and there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven boys, the rest girls. So, don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Tis what it is. So, that's happening. Your flights, you are all heading out on the United Airlines flight and coming back again, United Airlines through America. Okay, as I can whizzing through the database, pretty much all of you are on the same flight. That is utterly amazing. Usually we've got people coming and going on 100 different flights and the logistics are complicated, but that's looking slick and nice. So thank you. So remember, you need your ESTA. If you haven't applied for it, get on and do it. It usually takes 24 to 48 hours, can come within a couple of hours. But you really, if you don't have it, there's no going. Okay? So get on with it. What we will be doing the week before you go is setting up a group WhatsApp. I don't think the girls have set it up already. Have they? Have they set it up? Oh, they have set it up. Okay. Oh, they're so ahead of it. Okay. So I know nobody really likes chatting on that until departure day. So on departure day, I want you to get to the airport, check yourself in, go through passport control, and then meet on the other side. Okay, so meet and greet. I don't know which terminal you're going from, but one of you, the first one that gets through, pick a cafe, whether it's kind of Pret or something like that, Pret or Costa down on the bottom, and you can all assemble there and off you go. Okay, dokes? All good. You don't need a visa for entering Costa Rica, but you do need proof of leaving Costa Rica. So I want you to have at easy access just in case when you arrive in Costa Rica and you might get one of those really annoying immigration people that really wants to see every bit of paperwork. They might ask, can I see your proof of departing flight? So to avoid all stress, just have that printed off, okay? That you can whip out of a bag and show them rather than farting about on your phone and it might not be there and the internet and your phone might have gone, lost its battery. So do that for ease. Okie dokes? All good. Right. So on arrival, what does it look like? You're going to come through those lovely doors at San Jose Airport, and our team are going to be there to meet you. Okay? They will be holding a sign saying the Leap Jaquera. It's one or two of those signs, and there will be a big bus, and it will take you to the Rosa of America for the first night. It's about a 15-minute drive from the airport. The Rosa is a cute local hotel we use all the time. It's got a pool. You'll have some supper if you want it. If you probably won't because you'll have overeaten on the plane, but it's there. You can swim, you can hang out, you can find your feet, but you are going to be topsy-turvy with the time of day. So try and get some sleep and then be ready for the morning when you're out of there and you're off for phase one. So as you know, your trip is divided into many phases. The first, Manuel Antonio National Park near Quipos. The second, you're going to the wildlife sanctuary. The third, you're going to Monteverde. The fourth, you're going to Santa Teresa. But while you're there in Santa Teresa, you're going to nip out to around the coast to go to the turtle sanctuary for 2 nights, 3 days. So that is a busy itinerary. Okay? And no 2 days are the same. So brace yourself. It's great fun. So you're going to get up that first morning and you're going to head off for phase one at Manuel Antonio National Park. Here, you're going to be living in a gorgeous finca, which is a old farmstead. It's got a kind of big buildings with kind of dorms off it, swimming pool, outside eating area, badminton pit. It's really nice, but it is quite it's countryside. It's about half an hour down to the coast where you will be doing your project with the Cocal Community Centre, which you'll absolutely love. This is a community that we have been looking after since COVID. I mean, and every month these kids look forward to you coming. You're part of their kind of curriculum, as it were. The community setup was set up in this place because it's a rural fishing village with working parents, and the kids really don't have much to do when the kids go off to work. So we set up this community centre, and every group makes a difference to it, contributes structurally and with the kids themselves. So it is hard work, it is busy, but it's hot and very sweaty, but you're right on the sea, so if you get hot and sweaty you can go for a quick dip, so it's not all bad. The first few days while you're doing this, you are going to be worked hard for the reason that you're going to be up, busy, so hopefully then you can get to bed and get on top of the jet lag. Okay, so in this little phase, you'll be doing the Cocal Community Centre, and you'll also be exploring Manuel Antonio National Park and the surrounding national park where all the waterfalls are. So it will be a mix up of both those things. Food, all your food is going to be given while you're in the in this phase, but you might want on one particular night to go out after you're volunteering to have a pizza night. That can be discussed when you're there, see how you feel. Okay? On that first day, you will also be taken to get local currency out and sort out your phone, getting a local SIM card. So that will all be done on day one. Any questions on phase one? All good? Right. Then you're moving to phase two, which is the wildlife sanctuary. Now, I get told off when I say this, that this is your most challenging phase, but it is the most challenging phase, but also one of the most rewarding. So you've just got to throw yourself into it. So the wildlife sanctuary is inland, so it is hot, but it's a wildlife sanctuary which has been set up to rescue the endangered wildlife of Costa Rica and those that cannot be put back into the wild. So it is a kind of holding pen, looking after them. So all our leapers, when they go there, are helping Ronaldo and his team. They're helping them feeding the animals, doing basic maintenance work, helping. They sometimes have lots of intern vets who are there helping them with their research. There's loads and loads to do. But I'm warning you now, it's up very early, okay, to feed those animals. So it's get up early, go to bed early. That's the vibe in this place. Again, all food is provided here, but I'm warning you, it is local Pinto Costa Rica style food. So you just got to kind of get on with it. It's lots of beans. Okay, that's the local Costa Rican food. So, they'll spice it up a bit, and you can say to Mike, who's your guide, Mike, seriously, we can't, is there any kind of variety that can be done here? But it is local food, local vibe. Okay, so some people absolutely love this phase. Some people struggle with this phase because of the heat, but it's not the hottest time of the year now, so you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, any questions on this one? on that little phase? Nope. Okay. From there, you're going to go up. Okay, you're going to go up to Monteverde to the cloud forest. This, if you were suffering with the heat, now you're going to rejoice because the cloud forest is much, much cooler. So everybody's just like, oh, that is lovely. Monteverde is your adventure phase. Okay, you're here for about 4 days. I haven't got the exact list. I'll go through it later, but you're about 4 days, 5 nights, 4 days. You are every morning you're going to have an activity that is scheduled in, which is walking the bridges, the high bridges, walking into see these amazing huge fiscus trees, helping with a reforestation planting project. But every afternoon is free for you to add in any bits of weird and wonderful adventure that you want to do. Okay. Now, what is available there? You've got zip wiring, you've got bungee jumping, you've got horse riding, you've got going and seeing how coffee is made. But the most popular one, of course, is the zip wire. So I would budget for that. In the itinerary that you're going to be sent tomorrow morning, or later today, depending on when Zoe's finished it, she said, please tell everyone it will be tomorrow morning. You'll have the price, but it's about $90 to do the zip wire, as is the bungee jump. Those are the two most popular. So top tips. The zip wire is scary. Okay, it is. But if I can do it, my God, you can do it. I would definitely sign up for it. It's a really fun experience. Now, the bungee jump, really, if you do that, you're incredibly insane. And but a lot of people do, and they absolutely love it. But if you're thinking budget is tight, do I really want to do it or not? When you're in the zip wire, at the end of the zip wire is the Tarzan swing. Okay, so right at the end, when you think, oh, I'm going to take off all the paraphernalia, they'll say, oh, hold on, there's a Tarzan swing right there where you climb up to this enormous platform and literally jump off and swing right over the canopy and back. So it's kind of the same vibe as the bungee jump. So take a view. Okay, again, you don't need to decide until you're there. So you don't need to pay for any of these activities until right at the end. So what they'll do is we have a kind of an account with these companies, and then when you get to Jacarra at the end, you can pay them, and they will pay, clean off the account, pay off the account. Okay. When you're in Monteverde, okay, the vibe is slightly different in that you're going to be in a hostel. Now, it might have other people in there. It usually doesn't, but it might do. If it does, then you've got to be really mindful for the other two or three people that have foolishly booked into the same hostel as you lot. I mean, what were they thinking? Anyway, if they are, could you just remind yourselves when you come back at night, keep their voices down. You'll be briefed all about this from Mike when you're there, but just I'm telling you now. Breakfast and lunch is included. Supper isn't, because now is the time where you want to go and explore and have that kind of social angle. And there's loads of restaurants in Monteverde. It's a tiny, tiny little town, literally a tiny town. So you really can't get lost, but there is one kind of live music place. I was going to say a nightclub, but it's not. I'd say live music. There's, a few restaurants, some that are really catering for tourists and some local restaurants. But again, Mike will direct you which is the best and which to avoid. Okay? Any questions on Monteverde? Ooh, great. Right, we're rattling on through. Okay, final phase then. So you now are just over your 2 week phase, okay, doing all these bits and bobs. Now you're going right across to the Pacific coast, to Santa Teresa, which is the kind of hip, cool destination in Costa Rica. I would describe it, and most people do, kind of say, yeah, it's like that. It's like the Ibiza of Costa Rica. When you get there, you'll see what I mean. You've got everybody wafting about in their caftans, surfboards, yoga mats. That is the vibe. On the beaches, you've got all these cool bars just playing kind of slow tunes, and there's kind of smoothies and cocktails. Get the picture? That's the vibe of Santa Teresa. Okay. Now you're going to be living at Jacara, which is a 10-minute walk back from the beach up a hill, which is absolutely fabulous. It's our base of all operations. Our main partners are called Jacara, run by Chris Patterson and his lovely wife and team. That is their home. That is their base. So it's a big 1 acre plot. There's several kind of rooms, kind of bungalows all over it, wrapped around a pool, beautiful garden, open air dining room with a pizza area, hammocks. It's a truly wonderful place. It's really cool. So you won't be the only people there. You will come head to head with another group who is another team that come from Holland, all the same age, really sociable. They're doing their thing, you're doing yours, but in the evening, breakfast, lunch, and supper, you can all mix. Okay, so it's really social this phase. While you're here, you're going to be have some surf lessons because the surf is all about the surf. Yoga, again, it's all about the yoga. Do some little projects which are there with the community that Chakira supports, which you'll see the community lives opposite them, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So there'll be some community element, but we always leave that projects slightly flexible depending on how projected out you all are. And by this stage, none of you haven't had a day off. So, the pace just loosen up a bit for able you to have a little bit of downtime. But you will be nipping off to Serenus, which is around the beach. It's a good hour and a half's walk at low tide, and it's one of my favorite places. It's the Turtle Conservation Sanctuary. It's privately run by a lovely kind of ranching family. And you'll go to a beach. There is nothing on this beach, absolutely nothing, apart from the turtles and annoyingly the odd poacher who you will kind of learn all about. Now, I know this is not turtle season, okay? So it is highly unlikely that you are going to see a turtle, but you never say never because nature is so crazy at the moment, but there is so much work to be done getting it ready for the turtle season, which starts in October, November. Okay, so you will learn all about the turtles exist on this amazing beach. The accommodation is super cool, and all the food is provided while you're there. Okay, then after Serenus, you go back to Santa Teresa to celebrate everything that you've done, and then you get transported back to San Jose the night before, back to the Rose of America before your flight home. Okay, that's how it rolls. As you can see, it's very busy. So you've got the gorgeous Mike, and we haven't had it confirmed yet who his assistant leader is, but Mike is wonderful. He's local Costa Rican. He is a fully fledged guide. He used to be in charge of all the Monteverde guiding outfit there, but we've managed to poach him. He's absolutely brilliant with the leapers. He's fun, he's fair, and he's insightful. So you're in good hands with Mike. Okay. So we've run through let me just check my little list. Okay, I now want to run through the money and then the food. Okay, so money. I'm telling you now, Leapers, there is no denying it, and I don't want any complaining at the end. Costa Rica is expensive. Okay, it's hugely expensive. It's London prices. Okay, so you have got to be careful. Okay, I don't want anybody saying, oh my God, you didn't tell me that I was going to spend $500 a week, because I'm telling you now, you don't need to. Okay, you've got to be crafty and you've got to budget and you've got to work the system, especially when you're in Santa Teresa. Santa Teresa, yes, it is full of cool surfers and hipsters, but you don't need to go and spend, $20 on a cocktail. Okay? That's not your vibe. You're not going there. You're going, to the places where you've got, happy hour and local food and maybe buy your food and cook your food at Jacara and then go out for a few drinks. Okay? You've got to work it. You've got to be clever. Otherwise, you will just fly through your budget. Okay, most leapers say that they on average is about $250. So let's say £220 a week, $250. Okay, and on for basic spending, going out in the evening, suppers and wine. But I would just have a little bit I would have it in your head, the budget for the top activities that you want to do. Bearing in mind that they'll be listed in the itinerary we send, but the top ones in Monteverde, definitely do the zip wire. It's so awesome. And when you're at the beach, there's an opportunity to do the Tortuga Island tour. Again, you've got to budget about $90, $100 for that. It's probably less, but depending on the deal they get at the time. But it's really worth doing. You go out in a cool boat, you go to these islands, you go snorkeling, you might see, kind of the whales, the dolphins. So it is worth doing if your budget can stretch. Okay? The bungee jump, you don't need to do. Horse riding, you don't need to do. Coffee tours, you don't need to do. Okay? They're all just a nice, ooh, that would be nice to do, but you've got to manage your budget. Okay? So be careful with your budgets. Okay, so the food you're going to be buying, the meals out, is when you're in Monteverde and when you're in Santa Teresa. And the other places, your supper is included. Money, while we're still on the money, how are you going to get this money out? Well, a lot of places I know do take Apple Pay. I know, who knew? You can use that with your Revolut card, but also you'll need to get some cash out. So if you've got a Revolut or a Starling and one of those really clever cards where you don't pay, you get charged every time you get money out, then there are cash points everywhere. And on day one, just get some cash out. Super useful for buying smoothies or a coffee or a drink wherever you stop. Okay? Wi-Fi and your phones. Okay? Uh, on day one, as I said earlier, you will be able to get a local SIM card if you want. Okay, so there is Wi-Fi. I'm going to go through each place systematically. In the Finca, no Wi-Fi. You need a phone service. In Natua, no Wi-Fi, but there is phone service. When you're in the accommodation in Monteverde, Santa Teresa, there is Wi-Fi. Serenas, no Wi-Fi. So half the places have Wi-Fi, half don't. So you will need to get a local SIM card. So how are you going to manage that? Some people just say, right, I'll just do my eSIM on my phone. That's absolutely fine. Some actually want to get a tangible SIM when they're out there. That's fine. You can take a backup phone. Again, super easy to do. So just think about how you're going to manage your phone when you're abroad. Okay? I'm going to Kenya on Thursday and I've just downloaded the eSIM app. Really easy. Insurance, you've got to make sure you've all got your insurance. And I know this is a ridiculous thing to say, but you can't bungee jump if you haven't got insurance, okay? And people always laugh, thinking, well, if I've bungee jumped and I haven't got insurance, and well, that's it. So what is the medical required to? It will be to, pay for you to get your body home. So insurance, make sure if you want to do your bungee jump that your insurance covers bungee jump. Okay? The insurance that we recommend, the Campbell Irvine, I know it does. Okay? And the next, any questions on insurance, money, phones? Good to go. Okay, we're nearly there. Hold on in. Hold on. I'm just going to go through the kit list and then health and safety. Okay, so kit list. In your itinerary that's coming tomorrow will be an updated, well, just a reminder of everything that you need to take. Okay. It is, yes, you're going to need kind of grubby clothes for when you're volunteering and nice clothes for the evenings when you go out. But we're talking shorts and t-shirts. Okay. Girls, we're talking kind of yes, you might want to take a kind of funky kind of dress if you're going out in the evenings, but really, really simple. Hats, water bottles, um, sarongs, masses of swimmers. That's all really, really important. Um, do we need, I would take, if you've got a poncho or some form of rain coat, thin, thin, thin. A poncho is perfect. You can actually buy them out there for next to nothing, but a kind of thin little poncho just in case it rains when you're in Monteverde. Okay, it could easily. We are in the rainy season, but it this doesn't mean it rains all day, but you suddenly can get a kind of huge tropical shower that comes and then goes. Shoes, I would be taking three pairs of shoes. I'd be taking a knackered pair of trainers no one cares about that you can wear when you're volunteering and hiking, and you probably won't be bringing home. Your nice trainers, which you'll wear kind of out in the evenings, and a pair of sliders, flip-flops, Birkenstocks. Those two-strap Arizonas are really, really useful for everything, really. So no more than that. And your luggage, please make sure it is a soft bag, not a hard, super duper, shell case, because they're hopeless to strap onto the roof of a van or squish behind seats. Okay. So if you've got one of those bags which has got one hard side where, the wheel system comes out, that's fine as long as the other three are malleable. Does that make sense? Yeah, super important. Bags. Now we're going to move on to health and safety, starting with bags. Okay. How are you going to manage yourself in the evenings? All right. What we don't want to happen is for you to go out. I was just looking if I've got a rucksack. Go out with your rucksack, a little day rucksack. You're in a bar, you put it down, and you expect it to be there in a couple of hours. Okay. It won't be. Okay. So opportunists, you've got to treat it as a, if I was going out in a busy city like London, how would I manage my phone, my wallet, and everything else? That is how you've got to think. I personally would be taking one of those crossbody bags. You could get them from Uniqlo, and boys, even you can rock one of those crossbody bags. They're not tragic. I know parents are going to try and palm you off with one of those skin-colored money belts. We know they're tragic. You don't need to take one of those, but a happy medium. You want to go out in the evening with your money and phone on you, and it never leaves your body. Okay? That is the golden rule. Golden rule. Some people do take two cards or two phones and always leave a phone and always leave a card back at base in any of the accommodation, because if you do get stuff nicked, there is no post. Okay, so be mindful of that. It's very useful to take a backup card if you have one. And I mean a physical card, one of these old-fashioned things that you put in the hole in the wall. While we're on health and safety, okay, this is when I put my teacher parent hat on, and I'm going to tell you straight, okay? The only time we have trouble with our leapers when they are abroad is when they decide to get absolutely paralytically drunk, okay? And it's really boring because you make stupid decisions, you put yourself at risk and others. For example, in one of the trips earlier this year, two girls thought it was a brilliant idea to have 101 cocktails and again get onto the back of two mopeds of two local lads that they'd just met that evening. Where they thought they were going, no idea. Luckily, one fell off and the other then stopped to help the other one that had fallen off. And her trip was then ruined because she had a burn on the inside of her leg. But all I could think of is what were they thinking the outcome was going to be in Monteverde being driven off into the jungle. Okay? So when you get drunk and disorderly, you make bad decisions, and we have to mop up those bad decisions, and they are really, really stressful. So this is how bad decisions get dealt with. Okay? You'll get the nudge from Mike. You'll say, that was really annoying. And should we talk about it? Okay. The implications. You came back last night, you threw up all over your bed and you're thrown up over your neighbour's bed. How do you think they feel about it? Is that a good team player? Not really. Okay. That's how it will work. If you do it again, it's like, right, this is your official first warning. And I get alerted. And then I'm like, oh, do it again. Written warning. I know no one likes this. This is like going back to school, isn't it? Written warning. I had to then get your parents involved and say, yes, they're being really annoying. And if they do it again, sorry, they might be on day 4 of the trip. They're going to be asked to go home, okay, with no refund. So that's how it works. So when Mike pulls you aside to say, really, can we talk about this? Just know what the next steps are. And you really don't want me to get involved. Okay. So that's how it happens. And I'm not, what really equates to getting the nod. Usually it's drunken disorderly behavior, antisocial behavior, really disrespectful to each other and to the leaders. And what we champion at the Leap is a team experience. And none of you know each other, or maybe one or two might be going with a friend, but you don't know each other. It's a huge challenge for you all to get on that plane not knowing another soul. Okay, I know, and I'm in my 50s and I do it with the midlifer trips. And now when I get to Heathrow Airport, I've also got nervous butterflies in my tummy. So it's to be respectful to each other, look out for each other, be kind to each other. Don't judge each other on first impressions. We all do. And I guarantee you'll make a judgment on week 1. And I know by week 4, you will think I made that was a bad misjudgment. And that is a life lesson for forever. Okay. So teamwork makes the dream work. Okay. So look out for each other. Be kind and considerate. Okay. That's the end of my of my teacher moment. Okay. So hats off, back into the happy place, back into the fun that is coming down the line for you all. Okay. So any questions from any of you? No? All feeling confident, excited?
Sorry, can I ask one question?
Yes, Holly.
Hi, this is Holly. If I was to do an activity that somebody else would not do, what would they do in that time period that I was doing the activity, for example?
Oh, that's all worked out because you're going to have 2 guides. Some will be over there, some will be there. It will all be you'll be dropped off. It all gets worked out. Anybody else? Grace, you're in the background. From Mia, my mic isn't working, but could you tell us a bit more about the food? Yes, of course, I could tell you a bit more about the food. Okay, the food when you're in uh, phase 1 in the Finca and at Santa Teresa is pretty delicious Western food that's fresh fruit, delicious, fresh, yummy food. The only time you're going to be presented with the pintos, which is the local Costa Rican food, is in Natua, which is the wildlife sanctuary for sure, and maybe a little bit, slightly when you're at Serenus. I mean, they're trying to kind of make it more Western, but it might be bean based. But if any of you have any food issues, then we should know about it. It will be on your personal details form, and everything we can navigate everything. Is that the level of detail you needed to go into? Yeah. But there are always supermarkets, and yes, thanks. Okay, but there's always supermarkets, so you could go and kind of boost, get snacks and extra drinks and things and put into the houses and taken into all the accommodation. You won't go hungry, I promise. Any other questions? All good? Right. Well, we will send off. Zoe will get the itinerary. We'll get that sent to you first thing tomorrow morning. Any questions before you go, you know where we are, ask away. But I just want to wish you a very, very happy and successful trip. Be open-minded, look after each other, and have the adventure of a lifetime. Goodbye from me.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
goodbye, goodbye.